Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Well, it's certainly been a while and I apologize for the huge gap between videos. I recently ended up moving to a new place, and on top of all of that, work has just been crazy lately. I hope to get the video schedule back on track, so please bear with me. I've also been filming some of the updates to my new studio/office, so if you guys are interested in that, let me know and I'll post a video about that too. With all that out of the way, I want to get things going again with a product that was sent over to me by a keyboard-centric company called Epomaker. They recently collaborated on a keyboard called the Galaxy 80 with another company called Feker, I think that's how you pronounce it, who I couldn't find too much info about. When I went to their About Us page, it oddly described something about women's clothing and fashion, yet on every other page it advertised keyboards, so I can only assume that they are indeed an up-and-coming keyboard company. I had some pretty good first impressions of the Galaxy 80. The box itself is designed in black and gold, which looks quite nice. Inside the box is the manual, the keyboard itself, which I'll get to shortly, a keycap puller, and a USB-A to USB-C cable. My first impressions of the keyboard was that it was quite hefty, and not surprisingly since the base keyboard structure here is a full aluminum alloy shell. All aluminum isn't the same, and while I don't think this is the most premium aluminum out there, it's still fine. The back of the keyboard has a design in the spirit of the Galaxy moniker. This particular version is in the black and teal colors, but there are other options available. Now the Galaxy 80 is a 10 keyless board, has 88 keys, and has an F13 button that can be customized by the user. It weighs 1,710 grams or 3.7 pounds and has a gasket mounted architecture which acts like a suspension system for your keyboard, giving it a distinct typing feel. Now overall, Epomaker really nailed the space theme here. The Galaxy 80, as mentioned, features pretty robust construction, primarily with that aforementioned aluminum alloy shell. Now the keycaps have an MDA profile and are made from double-shot PBT, which, notably, is less prone to the infamous keycap shine and fading that is pretty common in ABS material keycaps. The reason for this is that double-shot PBT is made from two layers of plastic molded together, which results in less wear of the keycap legend since they're actually part of the keycap structure. Now, my version has the marble white switches, which I believe are a proprietary switch from Feker. Now, from the information I could gather, they're linear switches with an average operating force of 42 grams with a bottom-out force of around 47 grams. I'll get to typing feel and sound in a bit. The Galaxy 80 offers wired, Bluetooth, and 2.4 GHz wireless connectivity options. The wireless dongle is hidden inside a small magnetic panel on the front, which is a nice touch. Now, as a side note, the logo here immediately reminded me of the Energy Star logo for some reason. I did notice that the keyboard annoyingly seemed to default to Bluetooth mode each time it got unplugged, so you'll need to continuously pair it again with the dongle by holding Function and R if you do continue to disconnect it. It's not a huge deal, but it is worth noting. Now, this keyboard has a 4,000 milliamp battery, which is quite good for prolonged use. I couldn't find any information from Epomaker about how long the battery lasts, but it has the same battery capacity as the OG80 Black Tangerine that I did a video on, and that, at least for reference, according to IQnix, can last for 3,000 hours with a full charge with RGB turned off. The keyboard charges via USB-C and can be toggled between Windows and Mac modes, which is great for my workflow, but do note that there aren't any extra Mac-specific keycaps included here. Speaking of RGB, the Galaxy 80 features 19 different lighting effects on the main keyboard, which can be toggled by hitting Function and Enter. There's a small light bar indicator that's on the right side of the keyboard, which is unique, and you can also choose between 4 different lighting effects for the light bar by hitting Function and the right Shift button. The light speed can be adjusted, and of course, the lighting can be turned off altogether. Overall, the RGB is quite good here and is fairly bright. Now this keyboard features a hot swappable PCB and is compatible with both 3 and 5-pin switches, so you can swap out the stock switches for whatever you prefer. As mentioned, the Galaxy 80 has a gasket mount system which does make a difference to this keyboard's typing feel. Now, unlike standard tray-mounted systems where the plate is directly screwed into the bottom of the keyboard case, in a gasket system the plate is isolated from the case by gaskets made of softer materials like foam or rubber. However, the keyboard is advertised to have a leaf spring gasket mount system where leaf springs typically are incorporated either in the plate itself or between the plate and the chassis, similar to the AM65-less keyboard by Angry Meow that I did review some time ago. Now that keyboard allowed for customizing the leaf springs to further tweak the typing experience, but I couldn't find any leaf springs anywhere on the Galaxy 80, so I think this is false advertising at best. However, there are different internal layers to the keyboard, like what is described as pour-on sandwich cotton and PET acoustic pad layers that contribute to the thockiness here. You can remove some of the foam to contribute to a more clacky sound if that's what you prefer, and we'll get to the sound shortly. Now, as a software engineer, I do a lot of programming, so having a good keyboard is important to me. I used the Galaxy 80 every day for a week for work, and I've been really happy with the typing experience. I think for those of you who do a lot of typing, this is a great keyboard, though you might have to get used to typing on it. Of course, we have to test this out with gaming. Now, as expected with the 2.4 GHz wireless dongle, gaming with this keyboard is pretty good. I tried out a variety of games from Resident Evil 3, Doom Eternal, and Titanfall 2, and I don't have any complaints here. I know a lot of people prefer linear switches for gaming, so the stock marble white switches will probably suit your needs. Let's finish with that typing test. Now this is usually the part of the video where I go through a bunch of pros and cons specifically, but I want to keep this fairly simple. The Galaxy 80 currently retails for $106 US, which in my opinion is an absolute bargain for what you're getting here. It's not perfect by any means, and at this price, some corners had to be cut. The aluminum material on this isn't the best quality. It seems like it's easily scratched. One of the screw heads actually broke off as I screwed the case back together. I've never had that happen before with anything. There's also the annoyance with defaulting to Bluetooth mode every time it's unplugged. And lastly, there's no actual leaf springs on this keyboard, even though it's advertised as such. However, there's a lot of keyboard here for $106, and out of the box, the Galaxy 80 is one of the nicer sounding stock keyboards that I've ever used. This is great for someone on a budget looking for a great sounding, customizable mechanical keyboard with RGB that has that 2.4 wireless connection option. There are obviously better keyboards out there, but I don't think you can go wrong with the Galaxy 80, at least at its current price. If you are looking for a budget pre-built board that offers a good amount of thocky sounding goodness, I think you'll be surprised with the value that the Galaxy 80 offers. That's about all I have for this one, guys. I hope to get the regular video schedule back on track soon, so again, thank you for being patient. I'm also experimenting with camera shots in here and so on, so I'm just trying to get used to this new studio, so please bear with me as I iron out the kinks. Of course, you know the deal. If you like this video, please remember to hit that like button, and please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you know when I release new videos. As usual, I've got more tech, desk setup, and gaming content planned, so please stay tuned for that. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.